There are 5 ways positivity can power up your joy and happiness. You're in the right place. If you're looking for some ways to increase your happiness right now, there's 5 areas of your life where this has a profound impact. I'll go over all 5 of those, and stick around till the end because I have a special gift for you just for watching. The first way positivity can help with your joy and happiness is in your mental health. Now, this might seem obvious because this is the first place that positivity will have a positive impact on your functioning. But there's some reasons for that. Look, mental health has been my career. I'm a professional psychologist. I had a traditional psychotherapy practice for about 15 years, after which I transitioned over to a positive psychology practice where I do life and family coaching. The fundamentals of mental health are pretty easy to understand and grasp when you understand what positivity really is. We're getting past the trite, fluffy stuff that you hear from the stage all the time. This is the psychology of how to operate the equipment of your own mind. And what I've found is either you drive your thoughts or your thoughts will drive you. Understanding how those processes work will put you in a position of choice where your mental health actually becomes something that you can choose. Now, I get some flack for saying that sometimes because people question, well, what about the chemical imbalances and what about those genetic processes that contribute to mental health? Yeah, all of those things are part of the picture. I'm not denying that at all. What I'm saying is that your thought processes, when understood and when you take appropriate control or exercise choice in that area, can have immediate positive impacts on your mental health. Let me give you a quick example of how that works. One of the thoughts that causes depression is the thought that things are not as they should be. Now, it's just a thought. Do you know, like for sure, like you've got some grand connection to the great scheme of all things? Do you know for sure if things are the way they should be or not? No. I'm not asking if things are the way you want them to be or things are the way that you would prefer them to be if you had all of the control. That's not what I'm asking. I'm asking, are they the way that they should be? Well, actually, yes, they are. Now, this is just a thought, but what I want you to experiment with for just a minute is thinking things are not the way they should be. Just think that for a minute and check in with your feelings. How do you feel when you think that? Disappointed, maybe frustrated, upset, depressed. Yeah, you're always right about how you feel. How you feel is 100% consistent with the way your own mind is handling the psychological processes that make up positivity. But just notice how that feels. Now, let's switch the thought. Do another little experiment. Things are exactly as they should be. Now, you might have a little fight on your hands or in your head, actually, when you bring that up. Just push through that and ask yourself, how would I feel if I really believed that? Now, that's a pretty good question. Can you imagine how it would feel to really believe I'm right on schedule? Things are exactly the way that they should be. Now, my point is we don't know. And it's just a thought. What if you could choose which thought you're going to practice or entertain or install into your mind? Would that make a difference in your mental health? Absolutely. Now, we're up against programming, okay, because whatever we're used to thinking comes naturally to us. We've been trained, taught, and educated to think in certain ways. It's not your fault, it's just your training, your programming. And it takes a little work to overcome that programming, just like learning a new language. You can choose to learn a new language, right? Sure. And you can see that it's more than just a choice, right? It's a skill set, so you have to practice it. It's the same thing with positivity. Your mental health will be profoundly affected. The second area that this will affect is your physical health. We've actually got studies that prove this. In fact, I was just reading one in the Harvard Business Review recently about the profound effects of positivity on our physical health. Wow. Now, does that surprise you? It shouldn't surprise you too much because your brain is in charge of everything that's going on in your body. We know that immunity changes based on your attitude, your position, your positivity. We know that cardiovascular health, blood pressure, your tendency toward headaches or migraines, all of these things are affected by the way your mind is operating. Stress is caused primarily in the brain, and stress has a direct chemical effect on every other system in your body. So when we talk about psychology, we're actually talking about the integration of your thoughts with your physical body, and it has a profound effect. You know, conversely, you can affect your brain health by taking care of your body. Big surprise, actually, when you realize that your brain is actually part of your body. It's an organ in your head, and it's the biggest energy consumer of any other system in your body. So what we do physically matters, and what we do mentally affects our physiology. Your physical health will be improved through positivity, guaranteed. Third area that is improved through positivity is your relationships. My clients know that we get to focus on 7 key relationships: your creator, yourself, your spouse, your children, your extended family, other people, and things. Those 7 key relationships are all affected by positivity. You might do a little experiment. Actually, let's make this a thought experiment so that we don't go create more damage than we need to. What would happen if you were to engage with your family today in some really negative ways? Can you picture that? Can you think of any way that you could make your family relationships worse today? Now, would you ever do that on purpose? No, but look at how quickly your brain can come up with half a dozen ways to pull that off. It's not even going to take very long. You could go say something very negative or derogatory or judgmental toward your spouse, toward your child. And what's going to be the effect on your relationship? This isn't rocket science. It is, however, relationship science. It is psychological science. And it's important to understand those principles because these are not chance outcomes. What would happen conversely if you were to come up with some intentionally positive ways to interact with your spouse or with your child today? Can you see that would have a very different outcome? Positivity is the number one principle that affects all 7 of our key relationships. You know, I'm really curious what you've noticed positivity doing for you. I'm a psychologist. I'm observing my own life and the lives of my clients, but what about for you? Go to the comments below. Would you just share ways positivity has changed or impacted your life? What aspect of your life has it changed and how? Share in the comments. Let's start a conversation about that. The 4th area of your life that will be drastically improved by positivity is work. Our productivity is affected by our feelings. Our feelings are affected by our thoughts. Our thoughts get to be primarily negative or primarily positive, and you get to pick which one. We already know that positivity has a profound effect on our mental health, on our relationships, and that's why it has a profound effect on our work. But also, I have found in my own career that productivity is tied to wherever my mind is. And if I'm in a negative funk, I have a hard time creating anything of value. If I'm feeling grateful and positive, it gets the juices flowing on creativity and productivity and everything that affects our outcomes at work. Not to mention the relationships with coworkers and teams and leadership. All of those things are affected by positivity. You know, one of the CEOs that I coach, and I work with his company a little bit on a regular basis, told me recently that positivity probably accounts for at least 50% of the increases they've made in their revenues over the past year. Interesting that he's seeing an effect on the bottom line. And I think when you really look at it, you'll see that too many resources are expended on lack of positivity. So if we can put that positivity in place, we're going to be not only saving money, we're going to be creating a whole lot more value in the ways that we uniquely can as a company. And then that obviously leads to the last category, number 5 that I wanted to share with you today, money. You know, we have known forever that there's a correlation between happiness and success, between positivity and productivity. And we made a mistake for years and years and years. I think we misinterpreted the data and we saw it backwards, thinking, oh, therefore when we're successful, we'll be happy. It's the other way around. It is the other way around. When we are happy, we are successful. I mean, first of all, that's how we define success, right? When we're happy, what else do you want? But we've also found that happiness and positivity impact every other measurable aspect of success that we've ever looked at. Kind of cool. I don't think it should surprise any of us that positivity will impact all areas of our life. I've shared 5 of them with you that are really fundamental to how we experience our life. Would you like to dive in a little deeper on positivity? I've given you a little overview here today, but you might want to get into the actual models that support positivity in all 5 of these areas of your life. Go to the URL on the screen, drpauljenkins.com/positivity, where I will connect you to a web class on positivity. We'll spend a little more time getting into the actual psychology behind it. This is completely free. It's my gift to you. I want to spread as much positivity as I can in ways that empower people like you to have a more fantastic life. Go to drpauljenkins.com/positivity. I'll see you inside.